Please make sure that you watch out for this as Congress negotiates on funding levels for the next fiscal year. Experts have noted many Social Security beneficiaries will not see their checks interrupted, so this means batches of payments will continue to be distributed. But budget negotiations may have an impact on the quality of the services that these agencies can provide. Dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in opposition to the proposed 3.37% Medicare fee cut. When a physician sees a Medicare patient, they do so out of the goodness of the heart. They care for the patient. It doesn't make financial sense. When you see a Medicare patient, when you see a Medicaid patient, you actually lose money. It costs more to see a patient than you get in the cost of care. When I ran a private practice, I stayed up many a night, Saturday nights, trying to find how to squeeze out money, find each paperclip, make sure that we knew where the staplers were, just to make sure that we made payroll, that we paid the light bills. Oftentimes, I did not take a salary when we could not do that. But that was private practice. We were our own destiny. We knew how to take care of patients. We had ownership in patients. When adjusted for inflation, over the last 20 years, the Medicare fee schedule for physicians has been cut by 20%. What other profession expects to be cut year after year rather than receive raises, especially in the time of this time of the inflationary period? Obamacare's directive, one of them, was to starve private practice, to force them, to drive them into employment. My former practice is employed now by a hospital. They've done well, but this is an entirely different tenet with patient care. Physicians are being cut every year in their pay. Hospitals, albeit smallly, get raises every year. This will still not be as much to carry the cost of care in these hospitals, but why are the people who are providing care to the patients, the ones who are being cut? Why is this a bad model? Because I think employed physicians tend to be a different bird than private practice physicians. They tend to be more working on the clock. They tend to decrease efficiency, and they actually increase the cost of care. There is much more ownership with private practice and physicians. When a private practice physician comes into a community, they establish roots. They become part of the community. They join churches. They join civic groups. Unfortunately, the employed physician model, as we see it now, is much more transitory. There's a contract. If that doesn't work out, you move in 3 years. And then patients are left in the lurch. My doctor. It's always my doctor took care of me for 20 years. That is starting to stop. That is ceasing. The Medicare fee schedule cuts must stop. This is why I introduced H.R. 6683, Preserving Seniors' Access to Care Act. The legislation stops this year's cut while we work on a permanent solution. Mr. Speaker, this is one of the reasons I came to Congress, to fix Medicare. We're experiencing a critical doctor shortage now. It is going to be off the cliff in 3 to 5 years, especially with surgeons. No other profession, as I just said, expects to be cut every year rather than get raises. Every day now, we add 10,000 new patients to Medicare. I'm sorry? I'll finish just a second. Imagine a hardware store where you bought a hammer for $1.
The gentleman's time has expired.
And you were paid 60 cents. It doesn't make sense. I ask my colleagues to support the bill. Thank you, and I'll yield back.
Congress took a step towards avoiding a looming government shutdown when it reached an agreement Sunday on the top-line spending, even if lawmakers failed to finalize an agreement by the necessary deadlines. There's good news for the approximately 67 million Americans who rely on Social Security for their monthly benefit checks. Senate Republicans are looking to extend current government funding levels, probably until March. This would be the third time that Congress has delayed its own deadline to fund the government. The lawmakers have tight deadlines on January 19th and February 2nd to keep the government running. According to CNBC News, if the worst-case scenario does occur, and lawmakers fail to finalize a deal before both of those dates, it may take some time for Americans to notice. Andrew Lotz, the senior policy analyst at the Bipartisan Policy Center, has recently told reporters, Americans don't start to really feel the day-to-day effects until a shutdown has lasted for a week or two, and agencies have to start shutting down more and more programs and services. Those effects may be felt on a rolling basis, as Americans find the programs and services they rely on become unavailable, such as a phone line that becomes inactive because government employees have been furloughed, or a department that stops giving out loans during the shutdown period. In reaction to the threat of a partial government shutdown last year, the Social Security Office of Budget, Finance, and Management outlined its plans for agency operations during a lapse. Certain activities, such as applications for benefits of issuance of Social Security cards, would continue. Other services, such as benefit verifications or replacement Medicare cards, would be put on hold. This weekend's activity has prompted optimism that Washington, D.C. leaders may be able to get an agreement done before those dates. However, Social Security advocates, including the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, are closely watching how much funding the agency receives through these negotiations. President Biden last year requested $1.4 billion more for Social Security in 2024, while White House Republicans advocated for cuts to the agency's operations budget. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell stated they will need to pass a continuing resolution to temporarily extend current government funding levels. The length of the extension will be determined by the Speaker and the Majority Leader. Senator John Thune, the second-ranking Republican in the Senate, suggested that an extension into March is likely because there isn't enough time to complete critical spending legislation. Lawmakers still have not agreed on spending caps for different government sections. The senators expressed concerns about meeting deadlines, and an extension into March is considered a reasonable option. However, this proposal from Senate Republicans may create disagreements with their counterparts in the House, where there is pressure not to approve another short-term extension. If Congress fails to meet the deadlines, non-essential officials and federal agencies will have to stop their work, leading to furloughs for thousands of federal employees and potential impacts on programs like nutrition benefits. Despite an agreement on total funding levels between House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, approving another continuing resolution would trigger across-the-board government spending cuts, disproportionately affecting non-defense spending. Conservatives are frustrated with the new agreement, and this situation may strain the relationship between hardline Republicans and the House Speaker. The initial agreement aimed to bring both sides to the table, but the proposed spending cuts are causing dissatisfaction among conservatives. Well, my great and beautiful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Thank you, dear friends, for being part of this community. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed day.